It looks like Dr. Adimula is already ready for us. Good afternoon, Doctor.
Good afternoon, Prof.
Hello. How are you? Hello.
Yes, I think we are back from our break, I guess.
Yes, I think everybody is back. And Dr. Adimula is already in the house. Let me formally introduce Dr. Abiola Adimula, fellow SPSP, a distinguished scholar in peace building.
I cannot hear Dr. Kudu. I hope I'm being heard. I hope it's not from my end.
I can hear you, ma. It's not from your end.
Oh, okay, thank you. I don't know whether he has finished the introduction. So please let me know when I'm supposed to start.
Please start, ma. Start, ma. Don't worry, start, ma. I give you the guide to start.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Good afternoon. My president, the ESCO members here present, and all our inductees. I welcome everybody to this induction program. My topic this afternoon is stakeholders engagement and partnership building for humanitarian intervention. This is very important for professional associations like us and NGOs generally. Dr. Kudus was trying to introduce me. I'm a fellow of the Society for Peace Studies and Practice, an associate professor at the Center for Peace and Strategic Studies, University of Ilorin. I'm a lawyer by profession. My PhD is in peace studies. This is the outline that we are going to discuss about this afternoon. We are going to talk about what stakeholder means. What are we talking about in stakeholders engagement? How do we map our stakeholders? What is the importance of inclusivity in stakeholders mapping? Then the principles that we need to know on partnership. Humanitarian partnership cycle and some preparedness measures for partners. Fortunately, our founder and boss, Professor Halbert, has made mention of some of these community engagements I was waiting patiently to see the end of that presentation, but I know that we have been able to gain some of those things, and they are interrelated anyway. So when we talk about stakeholders, we are saying that there are the specific groups of people. Here, we are not talking about the general public, but specific group of people with different desires and needs from the organizations that we are working with. So a stakeholder is anyone who has a stake in your organization, either through interest or through influence or both. And so stakeholders can range from shareholders. Let's say it's a company. We can talk about shareholders to staff, board members, volunteers, funders. For SPSP, we can actually say board members, executive members, staff of SPSP, volunteers, our funders, government, and all those people that have some interest or influence in the organizations. Then, what is stakeholders engagement? This is also very important for us because it is a process that organizations can follow their existing stakeholders. All of us know when you say you are engaging somebody, you are engaging somebody. It is the same meaning when we relate it to what we are talking about this afternoon. The process of listening to somebody, process of collaborating, or even discussing with your existing stakeholders. And it helps organizations to proactively consider the needs and desires of anyone who has a stake in the organization. So this is very important for us to build connections, to build trust, confidence, and buy-in for our organization's key initiatives. So generally, when we talk about stakeholders engagement, we need to do our mapping. And through mapping, organizations can develop a plan to engage with each other groups that you believe that they are very important to your organization. You rate them, how important they are to you. So some can be at high level interest, some can be at low level interest or influence, depending on how important it is to your organization. So generally, excuse me, we can see the figure on the screen, stakeholder mapping. When you talk about stakeholder mapping, you look at the high interest one, the low interest one, and you compare it with how high their interest and their influence is within the organization. So, and that is the level that we use in discussing how engaging or relating with them. Specifically, the interpretation of that diagram that we have seen is in grouping your stakeholders, how you will map them. So we have 4 categories. We have low interest and low influence. This category of stakeholders, their interest is low, and the influence they can bring to your organization is also low. So in most cases, it's sufficient for you to use one-way communication of essential information to them. Group 2 are the stakeholders that have low interest, but they have high influence. For this category of people, they are more influential than the low one that we just spoke about. And for this category, it's important to monitor them regularly, keep them informed of critical information, and anticipate any interest or needs they may have. Because their interest is low, but because they have high influence, you will relate better with this category than the low interest and low influence. The third category is high interest and low influence. So this group is more interested in what is going on in the organization. So they may not be as influential as other stakeholders, and you may wish to have regular, robust communication with this one. It can be two-way communication relationship with this category of people, because their interest in the organization is high, even though the influence they can bring is low. The fourth category, which is the most important category of stakeholders mapping, they are the category that falls into high interest and high influence. And these are the key stakeholders that you need to hold very tight. So because they are both interested and influential, and they require more resources to engage with effectively. So this group can be your priority, that you will have regular, robust, and two-way communication with to discuss the tactics and how to work better in good relationship satisfactorily. So this is very, very important community engagement. So we are also talking about when you map your stakeholders, there are some category of people that you need to consider to ensure that your mapping is inclusive. And so such consideration can include connectivity, how connected are they, device access, how accessible are they. You have to consider intercultural differences, communication styles, preferences, accommodation, age, ability, language, and otherwise, everything that you think is important to you, you have to ensure that they are included in your mapping so that it will not be as if some important aspects of the organizational work is being sidelined or marginalized. So the principles of partnership that has been endorsed globally is what we are seeing on the screen. And there are basically 5, because when you talk about partnership, especially in a situation where you need to engage your stakeholders, and you are talking about humanitarian setting, these principles are very important. Number 1, equality. That is, you treat partners equally, stakeholders equally. Whatever you do, you ensure that there's transparency. You know, and they know what both parties are doing. Results-oriented approach. This is very key and important. Many times you see organizations working and doing this, doing that. At the end of the day, they are not getting results. And they will be calculating the amount of effort they are putting. It doesn't really matter. You look for strategies that can make you get results. And this is very, very important. The other time, myself and our president, SPSP, were discussing, and we are talking about result-oriented. Sometimes in highly placed offices, you may not get results from directors. You may not get results from assistant directors. Maybe it is the driver. Maybe it is the house staff or somebody very low that can give you results. In whatever we do in partnership, let us look at result-oriented way. What approach are we going to use? What strategy are we going to put in place to get results? Because what matters most is getting results of whatever we are doing. And that thing is responsibility. Both parties need to show responsibility to what they have agreed to work together on. Then complementarity. That is, you give good compliments when there are good things, when there are good results, when you are impressed with what is going on, give compliments. Let the other party know that you appreciate them. So the humanitarian partnership cycle has to do with stages in the life of a partnership. And this has to do with constantly evolving the emerging priorities of partners. Every day, this is improving. Every day, you need to ensure that you follow the patterns as they are emerging. And so, working in partnerships can be divided into 5 different phases. And so the phases that this one goes through is number 1, we have pre-award. Many times when you are working in partnership, you want to discuss possibly the relationship, the agreement, or even sometimes it can be grants or award of contracts. So the minimum eligibility requirements that has to do in this phase is partner selection, mutual due diligence, and common risk assessment, capacity strengthening. So you want to go into partnership with any organization, you look at what partner are you selecting, what is the area of commonality, what is the area of common risk assessment, and the work that you do before you give that award. The phase 2 that you are going to go into is contracting. Types of contracting mechanisms and approval thresholds are several. So you have to agree on this and enter into that contract. Prepare your agreement, sign your agreement, and you enter into the contract. The phase 3 that you need to go about is implementation and monitoring. Once the contract has been concluded, how do you implement? How do you monitor that people that are in charge are following the terms of the contract? And this also has to include reporting. When you are monitoring the implementation, you have to look at the reporting aspects, the processing of modification and amendment, because many times what you have agreed in the agreements may vary when you get to the field. How do you modify? How do you amend? Then periodic mutual performance and audits. Audit reviews has to do with what is happening. Are we doing it right? Is there any way that we need to improve what we are doing? Is there a system that we need to drop, and all those? Then the phase 5 is to close out on that project. So the humanitarian partnership strategy that we have talked about allows the organization program to identify key objectives and corresponding actions to develop and nurture partnership with local humanitarian actors. Organizations like SPSP, particularly that we are in peace work, there's no way we will not partner with local humanitarian actors, because from time to time, we need them to be part of whatever we are doing. So support in achieving its humanitarian goals and partnering strategically with local organizations is also very important. Many times it can involve research, formal and informal interviews of staff, partners, peer organizations, and relevant stakeholders. So all these things, from time to time, you have to analyze them. So some of these things influence the partnership development. And this has to do with some of the opportunities that you come about, the non-traditional partnerships, government policies and priorities, civil society, operating context, donor imperatives. So all these contexts, they drive good partnership. And as we have said, in mapping, you have to also look at the strengths and weaknesses. Map it out. Where is the organization having strengths that you can share and make gain and reward for your organization? Where do you have weaknesses that you can invite other collaborators to be with you to make whatever you are doing stronger? So you may need to conduct a mutual mapping of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, capacity, resource needs, and organizational short and long-term aspirations. All these are very important. Another thing is that you may need to develop jointly a capacity strengthening plan with partners. Here, you will analyze how you can match the technical support and training, because there's no way you do a work on humanitarian basis that you not need some level of technical support and training of those that are involved. And so I'm using SPSP as an example on things to start with when we are doing our mapping. First, we need to look at so many considerations here. Existing and active humanitarian actors, particularly peace, security, and development organizations and agencies for SPSP, for example, that we are doing. So here, we may need to look at previous partners that can potentially work with SPSP again. And their partners that we have worked with in the past, that we have enjoyed the relationship, that results had come out. So we may need to consider those previous partners. Another thing is local actors with strengths, expertise, geographical presence that are complementary to whatever SPSP is doing. And so all these local actors also can be brought up as partners that we can work with. Here we look at the strengths. What strengths are they bringing to the table? What expertise are we talking about that they can bring to appreciate or to add to whatever SPSP is doing? Now we talk about local actors that have the same humanitarian advocacy as SPSP. If we have other peace organizations that are doing similar work, these are category of partners that we can talk about. The other time we were talking about international alerts. They are also a peace organization in so many areas. We do many things in common. So when you do partnership with such organization, especially SPSP now, as our example, you can go places, you can impact the society better through partnership. So local actors that show leadership, expertise, and track record in the sectors that SPSP works in are also category of partners that we can look at. The local actors that SPSP can learn from or partner with to multiply impact are just some local actors that they have been doing similar things, that we are hearing about them, that they are very strong. Then when we bring such on board, it will multiply our impact in the society. The local actors that SPSP can empower to achieve shared goals. Many times we may not have enough capacity or enough human personnel to do it. Then we can bring in some local actors that we can empower so that we can share our goals with them and we can work together. Some years back in FIDA Kwara, International Federation of Women Lawyers, we work more for women and children on pro bono cases, especially on the defense of their rights. And we discovered that all of us, we are lawyers and we are in Ilorin. as practitioners. We are busy in our offices, we are busy in our practice, yet we want to reach out to other communities in Kwara State. So we had to train paralegals. Paralegals were not lawyers. And we put them in different local governments. We were working with 5 local governments in Kwara State. So these paralegals were trained. We trained them on what we needed them to know about law, and the rights of women and children. How can you take their brief? In what area can you give immediate support before you get to us? So they know everything. So these paralegals were the ones that women and children that are violated of their abuse in local communities we meet. And these paralegals will bring their results to Ilori. Eventually, FIDA Kwara will now take those matters up. So these are the type of things that we're talking about. Local actors that SPSP can empower to achieve shared goals. And developing eligibility criteria is also very important when you talk about partnership. It is important to know what you are looking for in a partner. What do you want from them as you are considering collaboration? Eligibility criteria may vary depending on the context and specific situation of your response. And so for SPSP, here it is peace, it is security, and similar work, development work. So these are some of the eligibility criteria that we can look at. What is the proven track record in emergency of the partners that we are talking about? What experience do they have in this area? What is the proven track record in core sectors? Then geographical coverage. What geographical coverage are they covering? Are they similar to where we want to work? Institutional capacity. Do they have institutional capacity that we can combine to work together, especially in the areas of policies, procedures, system? We have to look into this. Then we need to also consider finance and compliance. So partners have adequate control mechanisms in place to ensure sound financial management and minimize financial risk. This is very important in order to have a good management of an organization. So our partner, do they have this? Do we know this? These are some of the things we need to consider. Then reputation. Reputation has to do with integrity. As an organization of integrity, you want to look for reputable organization to partner with. And this is a key consideration in whatever we are doing. Then shared values and principles. Their values, their beliefs, their principles, are they similar to our own organization? Then humanitarian principles. So here, there can be independence and there can be impartial humanitarian principles. Do they have this? Are they similar to what we are looking for to partner with? So we need to give consideration to that. Then partner diversity. So here has to do with the group of partners that we are dealing with, which has to be cross-section of the society, meaning that it has to reflect ethnicity as well as possible partisan affiliation. So you have to ensure that you have category of people that can be useful to you in different aspects of your projects. So we need to also make some preparations and measures in partnering. Number one is mapping. Here, you need to identify existing or new partners to include preparedness planning. It might be possible to identify partners in disaster-prone areas, especially when the project that you are looking at is on conflict. So updating of mapping of local organizations and their capacities are very, very important too. The aspect of training and capacity strengthening is something that we cannot compromise. For effectiveness, we need to do training. We need to enhance the capacity of our stakeholders. So offering training on emergency approaches and standards to partners is also very important. Many times our partners may not have the capacity that we have. We may need to arrange to bring their knowledge up to the standard that can be useful in that partnership. Then facilitating training of trainers is also very important because many times you may not be able to reach everywhere. So we can call on leaders from different regions, from different states, train them. So when they go back to their jurisdiction, they will train others that are under them. So another thing is conducting emergency assessments or response simulations with partners. Many times you may need to do role play, you may need to do some assessments, some responses, simulations, and all that, just to be sure that you are getting what you expect in the project at hand. Then providing training for support and program staff on roles, their responsibilities, and good practices to manage partner relationship is also very, very important. The staff, let's say, for example, SPSP that we have been talking about, the staff of SPSP in SPSP office, they need to be trained on particular roles that they need to know, responsibilities that they need to put on, good practices that can give good outlook to the organization have to be impacted into them in order to manage partnership relationships that we have, because these are the face of SPSP. These are the people that other partners will be meeting. So they need to know how to relate well with this category of people. So, and it's also important, as we know, that in partnership, we need to put up agreements, written agreements. It's also very important. We also need to conclude that agreement because the agreement will go back and front. Each will put their own terms. They will look at it. Are they satisfied with what others have put on the agreements? And eventually you have to conclude and sign. So another thing is accountability and learning. Creating space for discussions and mechanism for two-way feedback with partners, local actors, and relevant stakeholders are very important to build mutually valuable and effective partnerships. Then documenting and translating standard program approaches and tools with partners is also very important. Then we must be able to be accountable, we must be able to learn, and we must be able to show results. Then contracting and startup checklist. You need to decide on your model of collaboration. What type of collaboration do you want to work on? It is a mutual one that you are at par, or one is up, the other one is down, like you are the one training those under you. It depends on the type. You need to decide that. Then you need to develop and agree on budget and resources going to other partners in a situation where money is involved. In fact, in most of the projects and partnerships, money will always be involved because you have to do things together. So resources coming to you, resources going to the other partners. Are you satisfied with it? Are you okay with it? You need to agree on all this. Then develop and agree on mutual work plan. How do you want to do your work plan? Is it a shifting type? Is it a mutual?
You have 5 minutes to round off.
And all this. So all this also very important. MIE plan is also important. You have to negotiate.
5 minutes.
Okay, no problem. You need to negotiate terms and conditions too. And it's also important that you appoint one vocal person within your office that can be relating with the other partner. In a situation where there's conflict, you need an ombudsman that will be able to settle and investigate whatever is happening. So from time to time, you may need to conduct partnership review survey. Ask people, how do they see? How is the relationship going? What is the feedback from the partners? Are they satisfied? So that you can put a proper perspective, those that they are not satisfied about. So in conclusion, we are saying that stakeholders' engagement, though it's an important aspect of effective organization management, it is important for us to be ready for it, to put it into consideration, and to do it with utmost commitment. Our partnership building for humanitarian intervention is a must for peace and development organization like SPSP to expand its tentacles, increase its collaborations, and impact better the society, especially during conflict management and humanitarian interventions. So these are the references, and I want to thank the management, the board, and the National Working Committee for giving me this unique time and opportunity to speak with the inductees. I want to congratulate the inductees for coming in afresh into SPSP. And we look forward to working together with you with utmost mutual relationship that can benefit our society and the Nigeria society in particular. Thank you very much. I'm grateful.
We highly appreciate Associate Professor Abiola Ademola for this exciting and excellent paper on stakeholder engagements and partnership building for humanitarian interventions. I know a lot of us have gained a lot of knowledge, particularly on the issue of partnership building. There's no gainsaying this is an area that is new, and Professor Ademola has shown expertise in this very area. If I must say, she showed that expertise practically in the engagement of the SPSP had with the Office of the Inspector General of Police. We had a very wonderful outing at the launch of his book and all the activities therefrom. Without much ado, I want to call on any of us who has questions or a comment. We will entertain one or two, and then we'll go for a short reset.
Yes. Hello?
Please identify yourself if you have the question or a comment. Quickly, please.
Yes, it's a question. My name is Dr. Isaac Vasumu.
Mark, can you
I am
help me?
a lecturer. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Hello?
hear you. Please go ahead. We can hear you.
Yes, my name is Dr. Isaac Vasumu. I'm
Go
a
ahead,
lecturer at Veritas University in Abuja here. And one of my research interests is peace studies and conflict resolution. So in the course of your presentation, thank you very much, Associate Professor Ademola. In the course of your presentation, you mentioned some principles of partnership. And I'm curious, I really want to know what you really make of one of the principles, that is equality. So when you talk about equality as one of the principles of partnership, do you see equality from its ontological perspective or equality in respect to what the partners, are coming, are bringing on board? Do you see that from that perspective? Or how do you really define equality? Is it from its ontological perspective or from the point of view that, okay, because I know in every partnership, you have one, party being superior to the other in terms of the resources and in terms of what every partner has to bring on board. So that is my concern. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is it the only question? Can we take all the questions?
Yeah, we can take one more, just one more, if
Okay.
there is.
Hello. Hello.
Yes. Do we have another person
Any
for
more
question?
question? Go ahead, please. Identify yourself and ask the question. Yeah.
You can go ahead with your question.
We can hear you. Yes, someone is saying hello.
Okay. Yes.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes. The presenter talked about some
I think Prof, you can
stakeholders.
go ahead to rest. Prof, you can.
Some stakeholders who are of high influence. And is it high influence? He talked about high influence stakeholder, low influence stakeholder. He talked about low interest stakeholder. He talked about high interest stakeholders. Now, my concern is in a community, we usually sometimes have those who have low interest, but they are very key to conflict management. And if we don't get to involve them, or if they are not active in the process, it means we may have a situation where conflict escalates. One of the concerns I had, it was a question I was supposed to ask Professor Albert. One of the concerns I have is that in some communities, you have those who are called traditional rulers or ward heads. Now, there are usually conflicts between maybe individuals or groups in a community. And then eventually conflict escalates. Then even the third class of
It's not clear again. Can't even hear again.
Prof, I think you can go ahead.
What is it that those traditional rulers at those different levels do? Hello? Oh.
Hello? It has been fluctuating. We couldn't hear you.
Can you hear?
Yes, it's better now.
Hello?
Hello? Please go ahead.
Hello?
Your network is not clear.
I think, Dr. Larry, you can mute so that Prof can address the question. Already, the key thing he said was well expressed, so that Prof can respond, please. You may mute him.
Thank you very much. Let me start with Dr. Isaac from Veritas University. You were talking about the principles of partnership that has been endorsed globally, and your curiosity was actually on the aspect of equality. So many times when you talk about partnership, as you have rightly said, some may be above the others. Maybe one is like superior organization to the other, but technically or basically, what we are talking about equality is when you treat members or staff of the partnership, you treat them equally. For example, if we have maybe the leader of group A that is superior is a man, and the leader of the group B, that is of lesser superiority, is a woman. When you treat them as the leader of the organizations and partnership, you treat them with equality, men and women. And you will not say, okay, this organization was started by Yoruba community. Now, we are now collaborating with TIF community, which is a smaller one. So when it is Yoruba matter, you now take it very more seriously than TIF, because Yoruba is the majority, the founder, and all those things. It should not be so. Whatever you are giving at any point in time, you treat people equally, irrespective of their gender, irrespective of their age, irrespective of their nationality or ethnicity, whatever it is in that circumstance. So when you talk about equality, it's the same equality that we have known under the constitutional law, that everybody is equal before the law. So when you come into partnership, you give that respect of equality in treating everybody alike, whether this person is full-body person or has physical disability. No matter where the person falls, you treat everybody equally, irrespective of what they are bringing to the table, irrespective of the position they are occupying in that partnership. Let everybody feel respected. Let everybody feel important. Let everybody feel like I'm part of it. So this is the angle that we are talking about, equality. Then the second person was asking about stakeholders, high influence and low influence. That sometimes some people we have high interest, but their influence is very low. How do we treat them? We have talked about it, that when you treat people like that in community engagement, you consider the aspect of that high interest that they have, and you will not exclude them. In fact, from the grouping, from the mapping, there is none of the group you need to exclude. It's only that the rate at which you interact with them, you communicate with them, will be different, will be stronger than each other. Number one, there's no elimination. No matter how minute the interest is, you still need to bring that person on board. But you may need to exert the same energy on those people like you will exert on those that have high interest and high influence. So here, it is the organization that will determine what is more important to them in this matter. And you'll be able to group or map your stakeholders and see where they fall in. Are they with low interest? Even with the lowest of the interest, you still need to carry them along, communicate with them, but it may not be as involving as you will do with those that are with.
It appears, Professor Ademola, we can't hear you.
Yeah, I think she's muted because it's gone. Yeah, she's still
Okay.
online. 12, your line is muted.
Base already 336.
I hope
She's
you
gone.
heard
Yes.
me. No. I hope
We
you
heard
heard
you.
me.
We heard you, ma. You just left our text hours ago, so you have 6 points. We heard you before that. Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma.
A round of no.
Dr. Kudu, are you still there?
Yes, I said.
I think.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
yes.
said
One
Prof
of
can round up now. We'll go to the next paper.
No, I think she has rounded up already. We are short
Oh,
on
okay,
time.
okay,
Yes, people have been
okay,
here since
okay,
morning. So now is Dr.
okay.
Neji and for their practicum.
And
After which we
Tosin
start our ceremony.
Ojewale, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. Oh, now after a long paper presentation, in fact, a total of 8 papers, we are now on to the 9th paper, which is appropriately titled Practicum. Practicum here, I believe, should be the practicals of what we have all heard since morning, and we have a distinguished team to present it for us and anchor it for us. Dr. Obi Neji is the first vice president of the SPSP and a distinguished scholar of peace and conflict studies. Tosin Ojewale is also a scholar of peace and conflict studies and our assistant secretary general of the SPSP. Dr. Neji and Tosin Ojewale, you have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can you please enable the share screen?
Right.
You can share your
Can
screen,
you
sir.
enable it, please? It's not enabled.
Is enabled, is on multiple user. You can share your screen.
Okay. Anyway, let me start by thanking everyone. I think we have spent a minimum of 6 hours, 30 minutes, right from 9 a.m. this morning. Well, Tosin, if you can hear me, this is not coming up.
I can hear you, sir. Should I share the screen?
Please do. It's not coming up at my end.
It's not coming on here too.
Yeah, it's not coming up, so I think it's not fully enabled.
Okay, it's there now. It's there now.
Can you project it?
It is there
It's
now.
projected. We can see it now. It's projected.
Dr. Neji, it is there. Check.
Yeah, I can see it, but it's not projected. It's just in the regular format.
Just click the slide.
Use the slideshow. Yes. So let me thank everyone for the time. We have been here for a minimum of 6 hours, 30 minutes. Now going to 6 hours to 7 hours exactly, and all together, just like the moderator preempted, we have a total of 8 presentations. Beginning from the introductory presentation by Dr. Victor on conflict intervention and overview of ADR spectrum, followed by negotiation in conflict situations, and followed closely by monitoring and evaluation of conflict interventions, mediation and community-based interventionist approach by Dr. Adams, civil military relations, Professor Wakmuk, community engagement, Professor Isaac Olawale Albert, engaging and managing humanitarian interventions by Professor Adio Moses, stakeholders engagement and partnership building for humanitarian interventions, the one we just listened to, by Professor Abiola Ademola. I think together we have had very rich presentations, quite rich in all the meanings of the word. And I want to thank the various presenters for making this possible. As we speak right now, we have a total of 54 participants. I think this is amazing. This is actually amazing. If it were to be a physical and in-person platform, I would say let's clap for ourselves. When I came on board in the morning, we had from 60 to 71 participants on the platform. And almost 7 hours later, we still have about 54 participants. So I want to thank all the participants, the faculty, and every other person on the platform for the time, for the commitment. and for dedicating today for this purpose. For a start, I want to say SPSP, as we know, is a melting point for peace practice and scholarship. What we have done in the last almost 7 hours is to look at scholarship, the theoretical aspect of the Society for Peace Studies and Practice. Our trainings are always rigorous, and that explains why we have spent the whole day trying to compress all the trainings that would have been for 3-4 days into just 1 day. And I want to thank all of us for our patience. Now, after the theory, we work assiduously to ensure that we have an opportunity where our members are able to have a hands-on on what has been discussed so far. For today, we have talked so much about mediation, in fact, the entire ADR spectrum, with a little touch of humanitarian intervention and stakeholders engagement. But in all of this presentation, one thing seems to resonate and to cut across all the presentations is that for whatever we are doing, we have to do it with some level of conflict sensitivity, whether it's in the area of mediation or humanitarian intervention or military-civil relations. There must be some level of negotiation. I think that point was made and re-emphasized in all the presentations. So what I'm going to do today, we want to believe that our prospective members have been able to learn theoretically. We are not doing this because we feel all the prospective members are not conversant with the subject of conflict or its management, but it's a key requirement for membership of the society. So to get forward, we have this as a major objective for this phase, the practicum session. What we hope to do is that we want to bring what we have studied so far, what we have been told so far, to ensure that members are able to put their hands on the steel and be able to practice what they have learned thus far. It's going to be a simple exercise that has been slightly modified. Next slide. That has been slightly modified. Now, in doing this, because it's not an in-person kind of training and workshop, we are going to slightly modify this intervention to ensure that we have enough time to look at it and get back to the faculty on this. So now, what is the approach for the practicum? Now, practicum, as we know, is simply practice. We are going to work hard to ensure that we put what we have learned into practice, and in doing that, the entire participants will be divided into 3 groups. Total, we have a list of about, get back to the former slide, yeah, leave it here. So the entire participants will be divided into 3 groups, and out of these 3 groups, the secretary and the assistant secretary will work with the participants to divide them equally from number 1 to about 71 into the various groups. And these groups, as you've seen from point 1, I think is listed here from point 1, that each group is going to pick a group leader, and that team leader will have certain responsibilities. So that team leader should be able to manage the group and report to the NWC or the designated officer in the NWC. Number 2 is that as part of the practical session, a hypothetical scenario is created. So that scenario will become our test case, our case study, where we are going to deploy what we have learned today in dealing with that scenario. Now, point 3 is that the groups that will be created, 3 maximum, are expected to engage in dealing with the scenario that is created. So point 1, we pick a team lead. Point 2, a scenario is created. Point 3, now that group is expected to deal with the created scenario. Point 4, the group leader is going to be an intermediary between the group and the designated officer in the NWC. So we share perspective. Ordinarily, this was designed with the mindset that we'll have the time to be able to have a breakout session where the 3 groups can go into different rooms, talk to themselves, and get back and give us a report on how the conflict scenario was handled. But unfortunately, we don't have that time. So that's why I said we're going to modify it slightly. Then number 5 was supposed to be questions and interventions from group members and the faculty members. Unfortunately, we're going to also look for means to deal with that. Next slide, please. Next slide, yeah. So I think this is the critical point here. So the former slide was to lay a foundation as to what is expected of us to do. As a recap, the former slide says we're going to have a team read. We're going to divide the participants into 3 groups, from where we're going to have a team lead for each of the 3 groups. From the 3 groups, we're going to have the group talk to themselves about a scenario that will be created. And from that scenario, the team lead is expected to report back to the designated officer of the NWC. Now, the scenario is simple. We have talked about community conflict today by Professor Albert. We have talked about the issue of engagement, stakeholder engagement by Professor Adimola. We have talked about the issue of humanitarian intervention by Professor Ruth Adio-Moses. We have talked about generally the issue of mediation and negotiation. So we want the participants to come together, collapse all of these 8 presentations, and use the knowledge they have garnered so far in dealing with this simple situation. Now, the scenario is that a community exists somewhere, and because of the police responsibility to provide security of lives and property, the police now decided to visit that community and ensure that checkpoints and patrol teams are instituted for safety of lives and property. At this level, the community is not comfortable with the presence of the police, as we see in most of our communities. That once they come, they harass people, they take our livestock, they do a lot of other things. They man checkpoint or roadblocks, and they collect, as they will say, Rogers on the road. So the community is not comfortable with this practice. They just feel the police should leave their community and they'll be able to manage themselves. So it's on the strength of this scenario, very simple one, that we are now inviting participants to perform the following task. Now the tasks run from 1 to 5. Now recall that we said the groups will be divided, participants will be divided into 3 groups. So one group will have a team lead. So if you look at number 1 here, the first listing on the projected slides, you have one group plays the community representative. So one of the 3 groups will become the community or represent the community. The second group will represent the police, and the third group will represent the mediator. We have been told about the job of the mediator and the qualities. We have also been taught about negotiation from the first 2, 3 presenters, and stakeholders engagement. And of course, Dr. Faleti also called attention to the better alternative to negotiated settlement partner and the minimax strategy. The minimum you can give and the maximum, of course, you can also give. So I use those principles to deal with this situation. So once we have these 3 groups identified, what group becomes the community, what group represents the police, and what group represents the mediator? If that is stated, something you have to decide. Then also we have preparation. Now the secretary or the secretariat is also at liberty to allocate groups or assign groups to these 3 communities to avoid further conflict. So you can say group 1 is the community, group 2 will serve as the police, and group 3 will serve as the mediators. So that way is easier. Then point number 2, each group should prepare their perspectives and concerns. We've talked about before going to mediation or negotiation, you have to sit down and plan. And that ran true, even what Professor Adimola just presented. Planning is key. So you must sit down and plan your strategy. So once you have this group identified, move a step further to discuss amongst yourself and come up with your perspectives and concerns. Then move to point 3, where you have the role play. Now in point 3, the community representative and police officer will have to express their viewpoints and underlying concerns. Dr. Faleti talked to us about the need to address needs and not positions. So once you're going into your negotiation, your role play, be very careful as you interact, as you negotiate with your partners. All the skills you have learned under negotiation, please bring them to bear. So once that is done, we also expect that the third group, that is mediator, or the mediators, since they're plural, they are supposed to facilitate the negotiations, helping both parties understand each other's perspective. Under mediation, we are told that it's a neutral third-party intervention, and a mediator must be neutral to the conflict. He must be impartial. He must be a good listener. He must not be judgmental. His job is to facilitate discussion and ensure that the parties to the conflict are facilitated towards a negotiated agreement. So the mediators would be able to facilitate the group 1 and group 2 to a negotiated agreement. Now the aim is to foster collaboration. Before Dr. Faleti rounded up, he told us that the best approach to conflict management is the deployment of a collaborative approach. So if you look at it also, the entire aim of this exercise is to facilitate a collaboration, address safety concerns, and community relations. So finally, was supposed to be a presentation in-house. But because we don't have the time, we have been here for 7 hours now, strictly speaking. So the secretary or the secretariat will take it from here. As we finish, a timeline will be given possibly by the secretariat when these reports of your negotiation can be sent back to the secretariat. So based on that, the secretariat will look at your report and your demonstration of competence, of knowledge of what you've learned today, and a grade will be placed on the various groups. So a group that has an A, it therefore means all members of that group possibly will have an A because you have demonstrated so much competence. But the point must be made, teamwork is central, collaboration is central. So with that, I think we've clearly come to the end of the practicum session. I will leave the secretary of the secretariat to drive it from here. Dr. Lance, over. Thank you very much. Dr. Lance, over. Can you hear me? Tosin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. So how many groups do you want to break them into?
3 groups, please.
Okay, so based on the list you have, sir, we have about my updated list has 73 people. 73 divided by 3.
Divided by 3.
In this case, yes.
You can have some 20, you can have some 25, some will be 23, some will be 22, depending, just to meet the number.
Okay, sir.
So based on that, you can assign group 1, community, group 2, the police, and group 3, the mediators.
So what I'm even thinking of, sir, is we should just let me see, 76. Okay. Okay, I'm thinking, sir, that is it possible we do, okay, fine, 72 divided by 324. So all we'll do is number 1 to number 24 will be group 1.
Okay. So they may not know your ordering. What they need to do is that maybe create a WhatsApp group.
No, they have the list. The list is on their group. Okay, what we'll do is I'll break down the group and I'll post it either tomorrow morning or this evening. I'll just break it down accordingly and then send it to everybody. I think that's okay. So in the same vein, sir, I will add you to their group so that you can also do other whatever they want. If they have questions with regards their assignments, you will always attend to them. I've added you to the group. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for that.
Please do well to also share the slides with them so they can for proper guidance.
Yes, I'm going to share. In fact, I'm going to share all the slides with them now. Every of the slides. Before immediately we finish this program, I will share the slide with them on the platform to access to it. Thank you so much, sir.
If there's any question from anywhere on this, fine. If not, my job is done. My job and Tosin's job completely done. In the absence of any further intervention from any faculty member.
Dr. Neji.
Can I request that to send the slide via email?
Okay. Dr. Neji, sir,
Yes, please.
I'm looking at these groupings since because the instruction says the instruction here says a group like group 1 will be community, group 2 will be police, group 3 will be mediator. And since it's not something that is going to be done now, I don't know. That means after the 3 groups are done, they still need to come together to relate. Or what do you think?
Yes, they're going to form their own WhatsApp group, brainstorm, and the secretary will give them a timeline, either 3 days or 1 week, to submit their report to the secretariat. And based on that, they'll be assessed.
Okay.
I'm even giving them till Friday. Today is Wednesday. Or Saturday,
Friday, okay.
so that today they make their submission and I'll send the assessments to you. I want to ensure that by Sunday, I will begin to issue certificates. Certificates will not be issued until they finish that assignment. That's what we will do. So their certificates will, until they finish the assignment, that's when we will know that indeed they were carried along with what we've been doing from the beginning.
That's fine.
Yes, sir. Okay. All right, sir. So
Okay,
thank you.
Can I
Thank
share
you, everyone.
something, please?
Yes, go ahead, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you. I want to share feedback from Professor Albert and Professor Adio Moses. I've spoken with, I reached out to them after their presentations, and both of them have agreed to fix a date for that session when we will have with them. As soon as that is possible, they are all happy to do so. As soon as we come to an agreement, we will have this session. So just so that everybody here knows that once a date is agreed, to be informed so that you can be part of that. But while I was thinking of sharing that update, I listened to Dr. Neji share these tasks that the participants have to do. And I'm just wondering, I think it would be a great opportunity since there's supposed to be feedback, since there's supposed to be a report from each of the groups. How about that session we will be having? We'll also create some time, as you may deem appropriate, for them to share that feedback. So they could share with you, as you have proposed, Dr. Lanre, they could share, and you and Dr. Neji and Tosin will look at it as you deem appropriate and conclude. But for the purpose of collective learning, maybe at that session we'll provide an opportunity for them to just share their reports of how they carried out this task, if that will add value to it. And I just want to also, since a significant part of Professor Adimola's presentation situated SPSP right at the center, offering very expert ideas about how to ensure effective stakeholder engagement, planning, and deployment of resources accordingly. I want to thank her very much for that very expert contribution, as has been expressed earlier. Thank you very much. And of course, none of these will fall by the way. We're certainly going to put all of them to use. The Secretariat is working on this, but let me just share this. Sometimes we have these presentations and I say, let the link to the recording be shared so that people could view, but we're going to do better than that this time. Apart from having participated in this, to make sure you can choose to go back again and again to listen to sessions that you want, we're going to have all that happened today downloaded. We'll get an expert to segment them into presentations. We'll put them on the SPSP YouTube channel and tag them accordingly, so that you can visit the SPSP YouTube page anytime you want and have this same presentation. You can view it again and again to be reminded of the key learnings for today and as you may deem appropriate. So we're going to do that to make sure that none of today's learnings is lost. Thank you once again. And I hand back to Dr. Lanre. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. I want to confirm. I can see Mrs. Annette Nkechi Asuga online.
If you're online, I am.
Okay. All right, Professor Adebusi Isaac Adenino, are you online, sir? Professor Adebusi Isaac Adenino, are you online, sir? Okay, maybe I will just call Professor Aziz to do that when the time comes. I was thinking we should go for a break, but on the other hand, why don't we just do what we want to do so we can all go and have a restful evening? So immediately we'll go into the induction session. Mr. President, are we okay with that? Can we do that now?
Dr. Lance?
Yes, sir.
Mr. President dropped a proposal on the platform that for the sake of learning or collective learning, let the participants reconvene at the time and date we're going to agree for the lecture of the continuation of the lecture by Professor Albert and Professor Adio Moses, that they should be available to present their reports and how the processes they adopted in arriving at the report. I think that is a very good one. So we may have to adopt that formally and let the participants know as they break into groups so that when that day comes, they will also try to make themselves available. SPSP and peace building is a serious business. So let's commit to it as we have done today. Thank you.
Okay, so sir, let me get this. That means their presentation will be done the day we are doing the little addition by Professor Albert and Dr. Professor Adio Moses.
Yeah, correct. You know that is going to be a very short program, just two of them.
So that means so that means their certificates can be issued already then.
If you are sure of the security.
Because most people want to use it already for one or two or the other. So I don't know when that date will be. But we'll revert. We'll talk about that.
We'll consider that at the end of the meeting. All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, everyone. I want to thank. Okay, Dr. Neji has already done all the thanking you. Mr. President, confirm that you're online. So I want to go into the induction purpose now.
It's not the security. What is security involved?
Mr. President.
Hey,
Mr. President. Mr. President, are you with me, sir? Okay. Tosi, please,
I'm here, Dr. Larry.
Yes, can we go to the induction proper instead of going for break? So that we can finish and move on. Do you approve of that, sir?
Approve, please.
Okay, all right. Tosi, please, can you share the slide? Once again, before we go into the induction, it's very urgent that one of the things we do is that we intimate people about SPSP. Tell you what we do, how we do. Initially I told people to go and read about us on the website. What I'll do now is just to expatiate on that just a little, and then after I'll do that for like 5 to 10 minutes, then I'll do the induction, and then the president will admit you into the society. The SPSP means, no, go back, please. Please, first slide. Yes, after the first slide, then you jump to the 5th slide. SPSP means Society for Peace Studies and Practice, and we have 2 headquarters. One is what we call the corporate headquarters, which is situated at the Institute of Peace and Practice. Institute for Strategic Studies, University of Ibadan, for Peace and Strategic University of Ibadan, now Department of Peace, Security and Humanitarian Studies, number 9 Parry Road, University of Ibadan. And our administrative office is at National Open University of Nigeria at Jabi, Abuja. Okay, and that's the logo we use. It's the only logo we use. Next 4 slides, please. Next. Okay, yes, thank you. Context establishment of SPSP. No. Next slide. Please, next slide. Next slide to see. Okay, these are some of our publications. But let's go to the publication. I don't want to talk about the evolution. Mr. President will do that when he's doing his welcome address. So for our publications, we do journals, we do books, we do monographs. Some of the latest book we have is 2 books. We did one in honor of Professor Sulaiman Elias Bogoro, the BOT chairman, and we also wrote 2 volumes in honor of IGP, Dr. Kayode Egbetokun. These are some of the recent journals. We also have publications. We also have monograph series, one by a retired general, and we also have journals, up-to-date journals. Our latest journal is 2023 edition. we are already working on having a 2024 edition, which will have majorly 2 journals in one, volume 1 and volume 2. Next publication, next slide, please. Next slide. I'm trying to, okay, so this is highlight of collaboration that we have in the security sector. In 2011, we had collaboration with the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji, Kaduna. They applied to become a member of SPSP institutionally, so they are a member. In 2012, we had the 6th Annual International Conference, and it was hosted at the Nigerian Army Peacekeeping Training Center in Jaji, Kaduna. And there we had a number of high-ranking generals and Army officers who joined us. As of today, as of about a month ago, the Chief of Naval Staff became a Fellow of Society for Peace Studies and Practice. Then the Chief of Air Staff under Buhari, is also a member of SPSP, but I'll do more of the roll call. So currently we have ongoing collaboration with the military and University of Ibadan, which has midwifed what we call by SPSP. So senior police officers will need to do some programs in Ibadan to do their PhD, their masters, and before they graduate for promotion to the next rank, most likely from colonel to brigadier general or thereabout, they always go through a process in which SPSP inducts them. Of course, this includes the one before, the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force. Then currently, we also hosted our 16th Annual International Conference, and General Assembly at the Nigerian Army Resource Center in Abuja. That was in 2022. And then in 2023, we signed an MOU. That was in August with Nigerian Defense Academy. And then sometime last year, this year, July 1st to July 7th, we held our conference at the Nigerian Defense Academy in Kaduna. About a month later, we signed an MOU with the Nigerian Police, and that MOU was also signed during a ceremony that was held at the Force Headquarters, Abuja. Some highlights of our eminent members include, we have three chief of army staff, which include General Martin Luther Aguai, who was at our conference that we did in July. We have General Luka Yusuf, General Abdurrahman Dambazao. He has chaired many of our programs, and we have General Azubike Yejerika. We have 2 IGPs that are fellows, which include IGP Onovo and IGP Kayode Egbetokun. Other senior officers that we have include General Nuhu Mamali, one of the founding members, funny enough. We have Major General Isha Kupenap. We have Major General, Brigadier General Paul Boro, retired. And then we had the late Chief of Staff General to President Jonathan, General Jones Awugofa. And currently retired. Currently, we have Air Commodore Dudushola retired as one of our board members. Yes, next slide. From national leaders include General Yakubu Gowon. In fact, we were at his birthday last week. Physically, there we honored him. We also have Ambassador William Awinado Kiringa. We have Ambassador Padin Joku, Senator Ibrahim Shekarau. We have Chief Servant Babangida Aliu, and we have Ambassador Fatima Sahara Abubakar, who currently doubles as the acting chair of the Board of Fellows of the Society. From civil society leaders, we have Dr. Chukwemeka Eze, former executive director of WANEP, that's West African Network for Peace Building, but currently he's working for, AU, he has moved to AU. We have Mrs. Ademola Bukola Ademola Adeleye. She works for the UN system in Sierra Leone, one of our strong members. And we have Dr. Takwas Swifon Zebulon. He's the UN senior advisor to the resident coordinator on UN country team in Zimbabwe. These are some of the people we have in civil society organizations. And for eminent scholars, we have Professor Muhammad Kiari, who is the Vice Chancellor of the Army University Bill. We have Malam Yusuf Ali, Professor Wahab Egbewole, who is the current Vice Chancellor, University of Ilorin. We have Professor Felicia Olabisi Olaseyinde Williams, Professor Ernest Waze, who is the founding director of the Center for African Peace and Conflict Resolution, California State University, Sacramento. We have Professor Tony Shaffer, who is on the University of Portsmouth, UK, and several others, including currently the Vice Chancellor of most universities that offer peace studies in Nigeria, which includes the Vice Chancellor of Lagos State University, the Vice Chancellor of University of Ibadan, the Vice Chancellor of National State University, the Vice Chancellor of, Vice Chancellors of prominent universities in Nigeria are our members. So just to rush, it was registered in 2006 as a body, an umbrella body of peace studies, and that was to make it an umbrella body of peace studies study scholars and practitioners in Nigeria with the aim to promote non-violent approach to conflict resolution through research, advocacy, and actionable mechanisms aimed at strengthening local community capacities. Next. Our vision is the emergence of a professional platform for synergic relationship focused on sustainable peace and development. Sorry that I'm too fast. I'm trying to keep to time so that we can move to the next thing. Yes, next, please. Next. Just the next slide. Yes, these are our core objectives. I don't want to read it, or let me read it. These are very key. One, to promote the practice of third-party intervention to facilitate management and resolution of conflict. Two, support and encourage reforms that promote the culture of peace. Three, facilitate the establishment of academic peace and conflict studies program. And four, mobilize national and international resources to advance peace and peaceful coexistence. Yes, next slide. Yes, we talked this was all about the founder. Next slide. This is the chief. This is our board chairman, Professor Elias Bogo, the former TED Fund chairman. This is the president. Next slide. This is the board of trustee members that we have. Next slide. The National Working Committee, where we have our president, the first vice president, second vice president, secretary general, assistant secretary general, national publicity secretary, treasurer, national secretary, welfare officer, ex-officio 1 and 2. Next slide. This is the structure of SPSP. We have the General Assembly, we have the Board of Trustees, we have the National Working Committee, which we belong to, we have the Body of Fellows, Central Working Committee, national branches, and state branches. Currently, we have branches in Cameroon and in Sierra Leone. We are hoping to expand beyond that. We have members around Nigeria, but those are the two, around the country, those are the two that we have. Our partners include, but not limited to, ICMC, WANEP, University of Ilorin, Idris University, Bangkok University, Army Resource Center, and Search for Common Ground. Yes, next. What have we done? We've been involved in high-level committees to resolve the kidnappings in Zamfara. We were involved in the Ifemudakeke crisis resolution. We were involved in the Niger Delta Amnesty Program. We've been involved in other famous conflicts in Okeogun. We've been involved in rehabilitation projects for Boko Haram members. We've also been involved in the creation of mediation centers and multi-door courthouses in many places in Nigeria. Next slide. So, next slide. These are some of our facilitators. Finally, I want to state that the human power of reason, according to Hobbes, revealed the law of nature that enables humans to establish a state of peace and escape the horrors of the state of nature. What we are saying, why we are ending the slide of this to let you know that one of the laws of nature is we need to find a way to enable humans, which is what we are trying to pull with our society, so that we can enable humans to establish, enable you as you are joining us today, enable those that are part of us, enable those that are in society that need to learn about this, on how to establish a state of peace and escape the horrors of the state of nature by promoting peace and ensuring that peace building becomes the bedrock and the foundation of everything that we do. Let me say at this point, Joshua, thank you for listening to me. Now that we've gone through the introduction, giving you a little bit into what SPSP is, I want to call on Mr. President to say one or two things before and after that, just one or two things, because he's still going to speak after he admits you, then we'll do the introduction proper. Just one or two things that you may want to add, then we'll do the induction proper. Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lanre, for the very great highlights about SPSP. I'd like to add just a couple of things. Dr. Lanre took us up to the point of recounting that recently we signed an MOU with the Nigeria Police Force. But more recently, we also signed an MOU with the International Alert. And a number of SPSP members across the country are already engaged on at least an ongoing research project they are carrying out. Why am I mentioning this? I had said earlier that as people join us, as members join us, we are happy to have you as members. But beyond that, your expertise, to the extent that you're willing to get engaged in the work of SPSP, to that extent, you will be engaged. the very eminent experts that served as facilitators today, once upon a time joined the society and had to pass through a similar process with others facilitating. Today they are facilitating. So as you join, how much we are able to engage with you will also be influenced by how much you make yourselves available. Be assured that we're happy to work with you, and no limits whatsoever. I also want to mention, by way of announcement, that SPSP is also affiliated to the International Peace Bureau. The International Peace Bureau is the oldest peace association globally. And why I'm mentioning this, you will hear more about this subsequently, but why I'm mentioning this is that in the recent days, the International Peace Bureau is looking up to SPSP to provide opportunities for peace practitioners and scholars to leverage existing opportunities or opportunities that are being brought together. IPB, as the acronym goes, has the highest number, the highest concentration of donors, international organizations, foundations, research institutions globally, and indeed the UN, because the organization is a member of the UN Consultative Forum as well, has the highest concentration of members that work across the world. But like you know, most of them concentrate their services in Europe and America. And during the conversations we've been having with them recently, we have found some of them that are beginning to be interested in coming to Africa. And there's a particular one. I'm mentioning this because shortly after your induction, you're going to see on the platform information about this. One of the organizations that focuses on issues of, the UN convention that promotes the right of people to refrain from engaging in combat activities, from violent activities of any form, from any form of aggression. There is an organization that is dedicated to that work globally. That organization has never been to Africa, but they want to come into Africa, and they're looking up to SPSP to create an opportunity for members across Africa who are interested in engaging in consultations of that nature. So one of the first things that you will be receiving, having joined SPSP today, along with, as I see happening in the next couple of minutes, along with all other SPSP members, is that you are free to indicate your intention to be part of that platform. It's an organization that is coming into Africa for the first time ever. And so if your interest includes staying away from aggression, avoiding combat activities, or indeed, if you know any experts, any soldiers, any persons engaged in military activities in the past who want to, to say, I want to contribute to peace and avoid any form of aggression, please, you may share this opportunity with them as soon as we put it on the platforms so that they will be among the first to be engaged. We're looking at people engaging across at least 10 African countries. So please don't limit it to Nigeria. We want to leave it to all SPSP members across Africa who want to be part of this platform so that when they are counting Africans that are engaging in this direction at the continental level, out of every 10 members, we should have at least 7 SPSP members so that you benefit from the opportunities of such engagement too. So please look forward to that and engage when this is made available. Let me pause at this point, and I can say a little more after the induction. Thank you. Dr. Lanre, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for filling in the gap. I knew that there are things I forgot, and I knew you will help me put it in. Yes, thank you, sir. Now for the induction proper. I have sent a document to your WhatsApp platform. I'm sending on that document now to your, I've sent to the WhatsApp, for those that are not the WhatsApp platform, I've sent it to the Zoom. You can check your Zoom messaging platform. It's there. You see a form there. Please download and open that form. As you read along with me, you please advise that at this point we should all unmute. We should all unmute, and you also open your camera. It's very important that you do that now. Then you raise your, I think it's right hand. Yes, you raise your right hand up. I will give you an example of how I'm doing it, because I also do it where I am here. let me. Okay, I've also, yes. Are we all on the same page?
Yes, sir.
This is my right hand up. This is my right hand up. For those that are also that are doing upgrade, it's also an opportunity. You also do the same. You're upgrading with us. So those ones, you already know your membership category. Now, when the place of the point where you have I, you call your name. Membership number.
We've not been issued membership number.
Do you now put the membership number to us?
It to be on your certificate, sir. Yes, to be on your certificate. So that's the two things.
I, Ohang Alphonsus, number 30.
I doubt number 25.
I, Tunja Aziz, number 18.
Okay. So please say after me. Say after me. No, you say after me. Say after me. I.
Dr. Samuel Nabi.
I swear to all the tenants of the society,
Membership number,
fees and participation
Blameless swear hold the tenants of the society for peace study and practices. A full member of the society is pledged to observe the standard and question avoid the action that will put the society into disrepute. Always represent the interests and sake of this society.
The name of the society, we will not always the interest and seek the progress of society, whatever we find.
Whatever I do, so help me God.
So help me God.
Okay. So please, can you all hear me? Can you all hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That's not the way we do it in SPSP. You have to read along with me. That's why I will read. I will say the word. You read along with me.
Okay.
Yes. So let's start again. I. Membership number.
Number 44.
Uphold the tenets of the Society for Peace Studies and Practice.
To uphold the tenets of
the society.
That as a member of the society, I pledge to observe. Standards and ethics.
The standards
and ethics
of the profession. And to avoid any action. I will bring the name of the society to disrepute.
That will bring the name of society to disrepute.
I will always represent the
interests
and seek the progress of the society.
And seek the progress of society.
In whatever I do. So help me God. Mr. President, sir, I present to you.
I will always represent the interests of the society.
Mr. President, sir, the President Society for Peace Studies and Practice, Mr. Natalia Unse Awopela, I bring for you today and present to you the following.
Whatever I achieve.
Dr. Larry, are you still speaking?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir? I don't know. I was muted. Okay. Mr. President, sir. Mr. President, sir. I present to you the following participants of a special induction workshop who have met all requirements stated and stipulated in the Constitution to become a member of this noble society. I present them to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Secretary General Dr. Lanre Yusuf. Thank you for conducting the induction. And I want to, on behalf of all of us, with the first Vice President here with us, Dr. Obi Ndifon Neji, FSPSP, the second Vice President, who is unavoidably absent, the Chairman and the entire members of the Board of Trustees, the Board of Fellows, eminent fellows and members of the Society for Peace Studies and Practice. I want to congratulate the distinguished men and women that have spent a minimum of 8 hours today going through an induction process, the pinnacle of which is this induction ceremony here conducted. I want to congratulate you for this, and I want to welcome you into the society, the fold of the Society for Peace Studies and Practice. We look forward to doing more together. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you,
Mr.
President.
Thank you. Mr. President, at least we forget.
Thank you.
I would like to say, while the induction was going on, I had expected that would have taken a snapshot of the participants or the now members of SPSP while they were taking their oath of induction. If you don't mind, for purposes of records, through your good offices, Mr. President, I think we may just ask the now inducted members of SPSP just to read that in so that at the back end, the assistant secretary can take a picture of the members while they were taking their oath of
Yes, I request all of us to please put on our cameras as advised by the first Vice President, so that we'll have a snapshot of all of us at the same time. Please put on your video. Thank you. He wants it to be in a manner that shows that the induction was still going on. So, Dr. Larry, do you want to ask everybody to put on their hands?
Yes, can we all put up our hands? Madam Tosi, are you with us? Hello, Tosi, are you there? Hello, Tosi.
Are we started snapping, sir? Dr. Larry, are we started snapping?
No, not yet. I'm waiting for my assistant to do the snapshot. I'm using a phone, so it will get everybody. Tosi, are you there? Please, can you snap us now? Yes, we are now taking the snapshots. Thank you.
From my back. I don't need my phone. Everybody's ready.
Tosin, are you there?
I'm already snapping using my phone. Also, I'm snapping everybody already. Thank you.
While I take the order of induction, please do well to take a snapshot.
Done. Okay. I've snapped everyone. Thank you. We want to now take, we can now, also please mute everybody. We are now taking comments from the participants, and 2 participants will be speaking. One of the participants will be, first one will be Professor Tunji Aziz. We will speak on behalf of the participants to represent the male. After that, Mrs. Annette will also do that. So, Prof, you have the floor, sir.
All right, sir. I want to thank the President and other members of the executive of SPSP. I want to thank members of the BOT who are not here. I want to thank Professor Albert specifically for deeming it fit to start this society when he did. It's indeed a great thing that he has done to humanity, to Africa, and to Nigeria, because there is no place in the world where there is no conflict. So peace is needed in the world today if you want to move the world to a better place. I also want to say that on behalf of all of us that have been inducted today, we pledge our unalloyed support, unalloyed loyalty to the society, because we deeply believe that the society would be better if we have peace in our homes, in our communities, in our schools. At no other time do we need peace more than now, particularly in Nigeria and in Africa. On my own side, as a dean of a school that is just new, we are pushing forward now to start a border migration studies program. And we just established the Center for Peace Studies in Lagos State University. I'm going to work assiduously with all the members in that center to ensure that society grows in LASU. Thank you so much. I look forward to working with the society. God bless you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, sir. Professor Adebusi, I did not know you were online. I've been looking at for you since, but you help us take you coordinate the national pledge, sir. The national anthem and the national pledge. Thank you, sir. So, Miss Annette, yes, sir. Mrs. Annette, sorry, please go ahead with your word from you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so that we can be gender balanced. You know, we make sure we have two people.
It's been a fulfilling experience, and we are happy being part of this great move for peace building. On behalf of the new inductees, we wish to appreciate the President, SPSP. We wish to appreciate the members of the Board of Trustees. We wish to appreciate everyone who has been part of this great move. We wish to appreciate the Secretariat and all those involved in bringing this occasion to pass. We are grateful that you considered bringing in more hands to peace process in the world, and it's a great move. We want to appreciate all the fellows, all the various fellows of this great move, this great society. We thank you all for your commitment and for being part of what God is using this body to do at this great time. We appreciate all the inductees that made themselves available today. We thank everyone, and we want to appreciate all our erudite facilitators who have, given us they've given us their clear and objective interventions and bringing their wealth of experience to bear this day, just to enrich us and to make us better peace builders. There have been veterans in the field over the years, and as we join today, we make a commitment to building peace process not just in Nigeria, but in the world over. Even as the president explained it to us, we thank you very much for bringing us on board. And we ask that God will help us, that this peace process will come to a point that SPSS will take a lead in the world in peace process. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. God bless the entire Africa. God bless the entire world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So, Professor Adebusi, you can help us with lead us for the national pledge and national anthem and national pledge. And after that, we can interact. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Doctor, for your coordination, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, national anthem.
We are good to go.
You'll be the one that will lead us now. We are following your lead on this.
Nigeria, we have on their native land.
Lord,
In brotherhood we stand. Our great motherland.
Motherland.
The pledge.
I pledge to Nigeria, my
Nigeria, my country.
Faithful, loyal, and honest. Nigeria,
Nigeria with all my strength.
Unity,
Defend and uphold our honor and
help me, God.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much. It was a wonderful experience.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
God
you.
bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
The groups on the platform
Thank
now.
you. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Very
Thank
interesting,
you.
very
Thank
engaging,
you.
very educative, very informative, very fulfilling
Thank
experience.
you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you enough. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Congratulations to all the teams. Congratulations, Mr. President. Congratulations, Secretary. Congratulations, Dr. Lady.
Let's go.
Thank you very much, big brother. Thank you
Congratulations, Mr. President.
for the moderation. Thank you.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Amen.
That was a very inspiring remark from you, man. We really appreciate. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for being here all through the day. You have shown us good example how to be committed to this body. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
We look forward to
Thank
better
you,
days as we continue to work together. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye, sir.
Thank you very
Bye.
much.
Bye, sir. Holy God, do it again, Papa. Do it again.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day, ma.
Tosin, well done, well done, well done for all that you did behind the scenes to make sure everything went on. Dr. Lanre told me about
Tosin was using two different, she was using her laptop, her phone. She has finished all her data so that we will have to do this later.
Thank you, sir. Well done, really appreciate it, yes. I didn't get to hear DCP Akimbayo, but I see that he's still here. So thank you for being here from the beginning to this point, I saw that you were very active from the beginning. I noticed your audio is not connected, but you were here. You were here all along. Well done.
Yes, sir. Then CP Miller Dantawai was also online all through. And in between, somebody was in his office listening. The person said, I need this organization. Immediately the person joined and followed through to the end. You know.
Oh, that was one of those who just joined today, eh?
Yes, he was only in CP Dantawai's office. While he was there, he was listening and was like, no, I need to be part of this. So immediately he called me and said, I must join SPSP today. Yes.
That's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Oga on top, thank you, thank you. In the morning, I was on a call with Oga on top up to, I think, about 15 minutes to 9. And then I called to say hello to somebody, and he called to remind me, say, our meeting begins at 9. Oga on top, thanks for making sure we didn't.
Thank you. Very tough. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Levy, group 1 is who? Group 1 is what? What's in group 1?
Group 1, no, you can just allocate, it can just be the community.
No, I know. What is in group 1? What is the, are they the citizens or what exactly?
The community,
Community. Group 2 is the police, Abi?
Yes, group 3, mediators.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'm already working on it.
Okay, Mr. Speed, well done.
Thank you, sir.
Prof, thank you for midwifing a marriage between SPSP and the Chartered Institute of Taxation. Thank you for the very respected members of the Chartered Institute that you brought. Professor Adimula?
Yeah, sure, she's still there. She's not? Okay, she is, though. She's still there.
She's here, but maybe she's connected, but maybe she's speaking. Prof, if you're speaking, your mic is muted.
She's muted.
Mm-hmm.
So at the very top, I think officially we have come to the end of this session.
Yes, sir. After the national pledge, now the end with that.
So what are we still waiting for? Congratulations to all participants.
You know that SPSP, we always do meeting after meeting. so we are doing meeting after meeting. Okay, let me end the meeting for everybody.
So that you can release the participants. I've been here for too long, almost 8 hours, more than 8 hours, going to 9 hours now. Or 8 hours, exactly.
Has the meeting ended?
The magician, Professor Adimola.
Yes, I'm asking whether the meeting has ended or because I can't hear anything.
Well, they said they're waiting for the man with the veto power to veto the meeting over so that we can go somewhere. Yes.
Okay, okay, thank you.